KDN, stop playing. This your boy, Mr. OKDN. We got Jim Jones, you know what I'm talking about, talking about Mase and Cameron. How they grew up together, how they was beefing, you know what I'm talking about. Jim Jones say that they don't be talking about that. How they got into it, how they was, you know, in the streets thugging it out, you feel me? Hey man, shout out to that boy, Justin LaBoy. Check the whole interview out. I'ma put it in the comment section. Justin LaBoy. The whole interview. Let's get into it.
Peace. I watched Mase shit on Cam and everybody around him.
Wow.
A bitch like all the time. You heard? Like I was there the whole time, but I was Cam's man. You heard? Cam and Mase were so-called best friends, grew up together, and R.I.P. Huddy. Like I was there for everything. That's one thing that people can't never say is that I wasn't there for every single thing. Everybody Cam didn't like, I didn't like. And I already see how he was handling Cam, so I definitely didn't like him. You dig? And then I seen how much love Cam had for him and how Cam was jumping out the window for him, which a friend should, and shit like that. Like, being overprotective, making sure nothing happened. Like, he was trying his best to make sure that Mase stayed as safe as possible, but Mase had got that money and lost his mind. Seen crazier shit happen. I know brothers that shot brothers and shit like that. So for friends to get back after a world of whatever they went through, it's not surprising to me and shit like that. But I see they don't talk about the days of being shit on, you heard? They don't talk about the things that separated them and shit like that.
Cam was like, I thought we could pull it together. Next thing I know, I see Jim performing with.
He ain't think nothing. He could pull nothing together. He couldn't do nothing with me. He couldn't tell me nothing. Like, let's not get this shit twisted. Nobody could tell me nothing. I was my own boss. I did what I did as a soldier because I was a soldier. You heard? I had the soldier. Didn't tell me nothing. You heard? I did what I wanted to do. I seen the shit wasn't going right, so I started doing what Jim Jones needed to do for Jim Jones. Because that was supposed to be the Don wasn't taking care of the capo. Just the sequence of the way things was going. And then it came to a point where I had to worry about who Jim Jones was moving forward. Then I was worried about anybody else because nobody else was worried about me. I got to a point where I became famous too. It was a point where all the famous people know me. Then after that, it was like, shit, I'm just as famous as all the famous people. I can't do what I used to do for you. You heard? Somebody got to do that for me right now because I'm super lit. You heard? But I put my life on the line for all of the shit, and you know, and everybody knew that. But wasn't doing the same thing in return. When you start to feel like somebody, when you start to feel like somebody want to see you do good, but not as good as them, you're like, oh yeah, I know what this move is about. You heard? Everybody don't got the mind of a real leader.
Who reached out to who when you went out to perform? Cause
I had Ballin'. I had the hottest record at the time. My record was hotter than 50's records at the time when Ballin' spanked out and shit like that. When Cam did this shit with calling the station up over the cot shit and all that shit, I felt that was childish. That wasn't, like, you don't press no real buttons and you're not about to come outside when it's time to really get active. So how dare you do some weak shit like that that really didn't hold no merit? Like, you start going crazy over Koch, over a white man that been jerking us since we got signed there, and whatever backdoor deals you had with him serves you more advantageous than it served me. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, so when that shit went on, I was like, that was kind of weak. That was corny, because at that time, there was no real beef. We was just the most powerful groups of individuals that's running New York at the same time. So in my mind, I was like, it's more advantageous for us to try to figure out how us to start to move and do tours and really go crazy and figure out, because that we were sizzling, but this was on Mars. It wasn't doing regular shit. They wasn't just doing arenas every night. We doing clubs every night. We got the city and the urban communities on fire and shit like that. In my mind, I see an opportunity for us to really start. You heard? Like, we had all the power and shit like that. My mind ran different and shit like that. So when he did that, I'm like, damn. All that up.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fair use, fair use. Shout out to that boy Justin LaBoy for the interview. Fair use, this is our thoughts and comments on this content. For educational purposes only. I'm gone.